Saturday and Sunday to meet with him? What was that final thing you said to your coach?
Well, I was so blessed to have had the opportunity to see him, and we had a great visit on Saturday. And, I just told him how much I loved him and how much he meant to my life. And Beverly and I feel like we owe everything to the opportunity he gave me and everything that he taught me and the support that he's given me in the 22 years since I've left him in 1986.
What will you most remember about him?
It's just too many things. He's the most powerful figure in my life. Gave me an opportunity at the age of 22 when I didn't deserve it based on my knowledge or experience, didn't know anything about the game of basketball. And, obviously the coaching part, everything that I know is a result of what he taught me. I feel cheated that I can't continue to listen to him after ball games and let him dissect what we did poorly so that I could continue to get better. But the things that I will remember were his generosity, his compassion for all people, common man, was so important to him. His generosity to everybody, and his ability to do that without telling anybody what he had done, the special random acts of kindness. That's what I'll remember.
How many times would he call you after a game?
Oh, we talked after every game, and we talked every week, and oftentimes 3-4 times a week. And I would generally initiate the calls because I knew that he was scrutinizing every move that we made, and I valued that. He was the one person that I listened to, and never made a career move without his guidance, turned down jobs because of his guidance, and he's the most powerful figure in my life.
Did that include Chicago? Did he call you after Bulls games? Or?
Yeah, in fact, he was at many of them because he was a consultant for us during those years. Mm-hmm. Everybody always has to bring up the darn Bulls.
I was wondering if he cared much about the NBA at all.
Well, he tried to make himself care just because we were there. Yeah.
What are some of the acts of generosity and kindness that a couple of them maybe stick out?
Well, he was so humble. He wouldn't ever, I could never have brought any of this up when he was alive because I'd have gotten chewed out by him for it. But, I just remember going to the Sunset Inn on Mesa every morning from 1977 to 86. We went in there because there was nobody in there. And we could talk basketball, 6:15 in the morning till 8:30. And we'd both have a cup of coffee, sometimes 2 cups of coffee. And he'd talk every morning about, I don't know how this lady makes it in here. There's nobody in here. And we'd have 2 cups of coffee, and he'd leave a $20 tip every morning. And it wasn't like he was making the money that coaches make today. He was never overly compensated by our profession standards. I can remember hearing from a man in town that Coach had just left with a box of blankets and pillows and a bunch of food in the back of his pickup truck, and found out later, not through him, that he, every Christmas for 25 years, he'd drive it across the Rio Grande over into a little village in Mexico and drop off Christmas to everybody over there. Never said a word to anybody about it. I can recall getting a phone call in 1982 or 83 in the afternoon, one summer afternoon, and a man says, is Don Haskins in? I said, no, he's not. I said, could I help you? He said, this is so-and-so. I'm the mayor of Van Horn, Texas, and I'd just like to find out if Coach Haskins told you about what happened over here last week. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, well, apparently he'd been over here hunting and got on the highway, and there was a car broken down with the hood up, and a woman and her husband and 5 children. And Coach stopped, and their car was broken down. They were on their way to L.A. He put them in his vehicle, drove them to El Paso, had their car towed from Van Horn to El Paso, had it repaired, paid for the repairs in El Paso, and gave them $1,000 and sent them on their way to L.A. And so I called Mary, and I said, Mary, did you know anything about this? And she said, no, Don didn't say anything to me about it. And there were so many of these things that just happened over and over and over again. And the whole beauty of it is he's never told anybody, never said anything to anybody about it. And he was quite a guy, quite a guy.
One more question for Coach. What do you expect tonight? Is that kind of a joyous night and a sad time? Is it a lot of laughter, you might think? So think about
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to, hope to do my very best, and keep myself together. But I couldn't tell you. All I know is that, we're going to miss him, and this city's going to miss him. He's